Well, welcome to Fisherman's Digest. I'm here with my buddy Bill, the owner of Whitefish Lodge. He and his wife Susan have owned this how long now, Billy?
Well, we've owned this about 3 years, going on 3 years.
Well, beautiful. Well, we're
Yeah.
up here on beautiful Whitefish Lake, just a little bit like 15-20 miles east of Wawa.
Yep.
And we are in the walleyes, so stay tuned for a really good show for eater walleyes from White. Ooh, I got a bite right now. Hang on, stay with me. Got him. Nice fish too. This has been what it's
There
like. The pontoon behind us, they've been killing them.
That's right. I
They're
think
at
the
the
girls
same
are
resort.
outnumbering the boys, catching them.
Another nice little eater. Beautiful.
You can
Beautiful.
catch them all day
long. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, if you're looking for eater fish,
Oh my word.
Whitefish Lodge and Whitefish Lake is the place to come.
That's exactly
Just
right.
beautiful little fish.
Yeah.
No size limit here. I mean, there's a, depending on what license you buy, there's a 2 and 4. The conservation license is
Exactly
2, and the
correct.
regular license allows you to keep 4 a day. But I'm telling you what, I had them last night, pan fried.
Oh.
Best tasting walleye I've
better
ever
believe
had.
it. You better believe it.
Craziness.
You know, and a lot of times people will look at that and say, well, I'm not going to keep a small walleye
Oh.
like that. And I tell them, well, you'll keep a perch that
You'd
size.
keep a perch that
wouldn't
size,
ya?
exactly.
And then all of a sudden it clicks in their brain and they go, oh, maybe I should keep some of them for dinner.
Exactly.
And so, but yeah, you can catch almost 100 of them a day. So
Well, I'm going to leach back up and
there
get
you
back
go.
out there.
Right on. We're going to head up to that sand right up there in the hill. On this side of it, there's a little rock face. We need to go out about 100, 200 yards, and then there's a sunken island right there. Yeah.
It's a 25. There we go. Oh, there's your barge, Bill.
Oh yeah, here comes the barge. That's how we built our cabin back in the bush. Yeah. We built that for 10 years. It took us 10 years to build our cabin back in the bush, and that's how we first started coming up here. We used to park at the lodge, and then we built an 1,800 square foot log cabin back in the woods there. And you'd have to go 2 miles across the lake, another mile through the bush to another lake, and that's where we built it. And everything came across this lake on that barge. We have friends of ours that are borrowing it right now. But then we used to put everything on little trailers and haul it in on 4-wheelers. And so, yeah, quite the place back there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy. Labor of love.
Yeah, exactly.
This lake is about 35 miles long. Back where our lodge is, Whitefish Lodge, the Narrows there, that used to be another lake. This was another lake, and then you have Manitowoc. And what it was is they've got a big hydro dam there now, and back in the 60s, they cut all the trees before they flooded it. And so now they've raised that water, and all the cabins had to get moved up too, to where they are now. All those cabins got brought up with a bulldozer.
Yeah, and I can see the natural opening right there. It's very narrow.
Yeah, and that used to be Scout Lake. Well, now it's all Whitefish Lake, and then it goes into Manitowoc Lake. And so if you look at when we're sitting here fishing, we're sitting here jigging, but our fishing line is going on an angle. That's because there's still current that's coming through here, because this is a river and it is moving. See, look at my line.
Yeah,
you can't see it,
that.
but it's on an angle because there's
real
still
slight.
current coming through.
No, I noticed that.
Yeah.
That narrows up there is real obviously almost, you know.
You know,
when
I've
you look
always
at
wanted to fish that up there, and it's right out my back door, because you think the fish have to swim through there to move around, but I've never seen anybody fish there.
Huh. Seems like almost with a current bottleneck that would be a decent spot.
Exactly correct.
Something I'll have to look
Yeah.
at. Looks like the kids in the pontoon, oh, they got doubles. Look at them, look at them.
The girls are out fishing the guys
Girls,
again.
look at them, 2 little walleyes.
3 little blonde-headed girls. Here we go.
Good job, Billy. I tell you what, this is what that lake is just loaded with, is just wonderful eaters.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. You need a net or you're gonna hoist
No,
them?
I'm just gonna hoist
Oh,
them
that's
right
a
on
nice,
in.
nice,
So
nice
it's a good eater.
fish, though.
Yep, they fit in the pan real nice like that.
We'll keep a couple because you know
Sure.
Susan and Betsy will scream at us if we didn't.
And there are hundreds
of
and
them.
Hundreds. I should say thousands.
Yeah, I
because
know.
there are. This fishery right here is unbelievable. There's probably a half a dozen sanctuaries on this river.
Look at that.
Yeah, I know. Look at
marks.
that graph. There's a half a dozen sanctuaries on this river that you cannot fish until June 15th because it's all a big spawning area.
Sure.
And then they move out of the rivers and those little creeks and stuff like that, and then they move back into the lakes here. And so now they're all back into the lakes and they're out of the rivers.
So as far as just fun fishing for kids like
Oh
the
my
family,
gosh.
it's just craziness.
This is family heaven,
Right.
you know. Especially, you know, people,
Well,
they
what the-
rent the pontoon boat.
The boat we just saw, we talked to them
Yeah.
at the dock. They're staying at your place, and
Yeah.
they said literally the little 3 towheads under 10 were catching all the fish on the boat, and we just saw it.
Exactly.
Just we pull up and they get a triple.
And then they sit on the dock and they catch them
Oh,
off
I know.
the dock, or
When-
they sit in the boat and catch them off
When
the
they were
dock.
waiting to go fishing, while we were setting up today,
Yeah.
they caught a perch and 2 walleye.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
yeah.
I love it. Let's
So-
get some
Oh
more.
yeah.
Great Lakes Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Lowrance Electronics. Fish the finest. This segment is brought to you by Trax Tech, the ultimate fishing system.
When Bill and Susan invited me to Whitefish Lodge to film a show, I was skeptical because of the classic automatic negatives of a Canadian lodge. You know, sometimes they can be really rustic, if you know what I mean. This has completely blown me away. Their lodge is the furthest thing from rustic at all. It is first-rate accommodations, fantastically furnished and amenitied. That's
You
a
like
big
using
fish.
the Lowrance? I've not.
I love the...
I'm thinking about buying one. They just look so nice.
They do, and I'll tell you what the Lowrance product offers that I think at the top of the line is second to none is in the HDS 7 and the new generation 3, the 7, 9, and the big touch 12s. A 9 is what I'm using. It's
Yeah.
a perfect size for a console. It's not a great big television set in your way, but you can see clearly, and what I think it does better than anything else is it gives you separation on the bottom. When you see bottom fish, you got it. Oh,
No. Yeah.
you have one?
No.
Snag?
He's just been playing. No, not snag. He was.
Oh yeah.
I'm listening to you feeling this thing
But it gives
biting
you
on me.
separation. That's
Yes.
the biggest thing that I need as a fisherman. I need to know, is that a rock or is that a fish?
Yeah.
And that separation from the bottom, it'll show like the bottom has, you see that solid yellow and
Yep.
then the red, tiny red line. When you see something come up off of it, then you're able to see that fish that's coming on the
Yep.
screen right now. See how that separates? It almost looks like just an enhancement of that bottom red line.
Yes.
That's a fish.
Okay.
That's a fish.
Now that's a split screen you have there. Can you adjust that to like a solid screen too if you didn't want to see where you were going
Absolutely,
with
and
your
that,
boat?
and the beautiful thing about that is there's a sidebar that you see right there. You can go to a simple menu button and you can go to full screen, you can go to full chart, you can also split it to look at your side finder. I have what's called the full HDS with the scan, which gives me side view, and that's really, really effective. Now, it's different types of fishing sometimes. If you want it like you're casting and you want to see what's out to the side of you,
Yep.
that's where the structure scan is such a huge part.
Okay.
Where
Yep.
you can actually see to the side of the boat. You can identify a weed line, a break, a drop off. But that's the type of stuff that they're offering that I think in the marketplace right now is second to none. You did have a fish there, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Too? Here's another really good mark coming up on the screen. We're back in our target depth of 20 foot, which I think seems to be the key.
Yep. Oh, no, that was rock. All right.
We came right through that
Yeah, you can see it.
pile of fish. That's another eater for
I got
sure.
one playing with mine too.
Do you? There we go. Another nice little fish. I tell you what, this lake is just filled with eaters, isn't it?
Oh,
Billy?
it is. I'm serious, there were guys, they were keeping track and they were catching 85 to 120 fish a day. It was mind-boggling.
Well,
You'll have to go take a picture of the calendar in their cabin. They marked it all down on the calendar, what they caught every day.
It's crazy how many fish there were there. We may have to go back and jig that. One of the cool things about this lodge and Whitefish Lake has been the simplicity of which we were required to fish. I mean, we literally ended up fishing nothing more than a jig and a leech or a night crawler. When we were searching for fish, we used the oldest method in the world for an ex-tournament fisherman, and that is a bottom bouncer, a length of line, and today we put, instead of a plain hook, we put a colored Phelps floater on from Northland. The hot color today seemed to be the pink, but we also did well on the orange and black. And that's a good search bait because you can go ahead and go about 0.8 to a mile an hour with it tipped with a leech or a crawler, and the walleyes will take that offering anywhere I've gone. And so it's a really good way to just move up and down a shoreline and search for the next group of fish that you want to jig.
This one's a little bit better.
A netter, or are you just going to still
I
hoist?
don't know. It's better than the ones we've been catching.
Well, I'm going to bank on the fact that you can get her in.
Yeah, we can get it in.
Oh, that's a nice fish. And these are the kind that we've been talking about all day long. Oh yeah, that's a real nice fish, Billy. Right out here in this 24 foot.
You bet.
That is that's got a little blue to it. It's almost like a blue walleye, isn't it?
It is a blue walleye.
Yeah.
If you notice, it's got a blue tint to it.
I'm reeling
There's
another
not-
blue walleye in.
There's not too many, lakes that have blue walleye in them.
Oh, that's
but
beautiful.
you'll be able to see, and the bigger the fish, the darker the blue. And we caught one off the dock the other day. It was almost solid blue. I'll have to show you a picture of it. But these are kind of neat. We have blue walleye. See, now that's a gold one there.
Yeah, that's
and this one has more blue in it.
I'll show
so
everybody
you'll be able
the
to see in
difference.
that fin right there. So,
Oh yeah.
see, that one's not blue.
Yeah, exactly. It's
And-
more like a northern Michigan, northern Wisconsin walleye.
Exactly right. And this is a blue walleye. So
I have
we have
never
two different,
seen that.
Yeah, we have two different species of walleyes here in this lake.
That's
So,
very cool. Well,
yeah,
let's
that is
keep 'em.
kind of neat.
Let's keep them to eat them.
There we go.
Woo! That one just did not want to stay. Good job, Dad.
This segment brought to you by Ely, Minnesota. On the Boundary Waters Canoe Area, Ely, one of North America's last pure wilderness experiences. Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Whitefish Lodge, offering great fishing for walleye, northern pike, smallmouth bass, and lake trout. Whitefish Lodge also has beautiful cabins that are fully furnished and equipped.
This boat gives you a lot of, missed him. Boat gives you a lot of nice room.
Oh, the Crestliner is just amazing. This is the first year of running this Crestliner boat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is the 2050 Authority. This is a
Okay.
brand new boat for them this year. And what I love about it is, listen, neither one of us are getting any younger.
No.
What I love about this boat is the freeboard on it.
Yes.
The sides.
Oh,
I don't
exactly.
feel like I'm gonna fall out of it
Yep.
if I get out in big water.
Yep.
You've got this fantastic washdown system right
Oh,
here.
okay. Yep.
So when I get a little bit of fish stuff going on
You
in the
bet.
boat, and I'm gonna go out tubing with the kids a little bit later, I push a switch and I
Yeah.
go and I clean the whole boat, and I
Cool.
didn't have to pull it out of
There
the
you
water
go.
or anything. I just
Yeah.
tied up to the dock and clean the boat.
There we go.
Ooh,
Oh,
we like that.
I like that.
All right, holder. You need a little net action or not?
I don't know. This one feels.
That's a good
You
feeling.
always say this one feels good, and then you bring it up.
We
and hits
slid
this
out.
little
We
one,
slid
eh?
out to 27, hoping to try and find. Oh, yeah, that's a much better fish.
Oh yeah, that's a better fish.
Yep. We slid out to 27, trying to pull out, and I think sometimes you find that. Oh, that's a real nice
That is a
blue
nice
walleye
one.
again. Beautiful fish. I'll tell you what, the pink Phelps floater has been the ticket today, and
Oh,
I
it
think it's
has.
the combination of the red water and that pink jig.
Yeah.
I've noticed that when I get in this color water,
Yeah.
oh, that's a beautiful
Yeah,
fish.
that's
Let me
got it
show
there,
that
buddy.
to everybody.
There you go.
Right, we're gonna.
There you go.
I'll get him. Look at that beautiful fish. I'm letting my bottom bouncer down to properly set my depth. Once I initially hit, then I just thumb the line right there. And then I'll just literally lift slightly and jig my bottom bouncer, always tapping the bottom. Just tapping the bottom and refining it, and then I'll pull it up a couple inches to make sure that it's standing up. I don't want it laid down at all. And that way when I'm going through the fish, my floating jig head keeps the bait from getting into the rocks and sinking, and my bottom bouncer being standing up, it causes it to float over the rocks. If it was laid down, it'd catch every rock. We got some really good fish on the screen right now, but so I'm gonna drop back. I'm in perfect depth now. Because I'm not varying my depth, I can go ahead and click my bail and be ready to fish. And sometimes you'll find, and I think it's important, that when you're dropping back a little bit, it also changes your bait action. Your bait also drop back a little bit, and that sometimes can trigger fish.
Oh,
I made a little change. I laid my rod down with just a jig and a half a crawler. And that is a beautiful walleye right there. I literally laid it right on the side of the boat thinking, well, I'm going to retie these lines down. But there's so many fish in this lake that, I mean, it didn't lay there for, I don't know, 30 seconds. And I don't know if you can get a shot of that graph, but that graph will tell the story right now while I keep this last fish.
This segment is brought to you by Whitefish Lodge Bear Hunting Adventures. Join us in the fall for some fantastic black bear hunting at very affordable prices. Whitefish Lodge, your fishing and hunting specialists. Great Lakes Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Motor Guide, engineered for anglers.
All right, we're gonna do baked walleye today with baked potato and asparagus. Now for this recipe, it takes a little bit longer for the baked potato to cook, so we're gonna prep that up first, which is pretty simple. Take olive oil or butter, whatever you prefer. You can even use Crisco. Put it over top. Put your garlic salt. And then wrap it up. You want to make sure it's tight so it seals in all the moisture and heat. And we're going to put this in the oven. All right, we got a little over 20 minutes left on our baked potato, so we're gonna go ahead and prep up our walleye. Start by just sprinkling it with your pepper. And take your garlic salt. Then your lemon. And then last but not least, a little bit of olive oil. This fish will take about 20 minutes to get done, so it'll come out at the same time as the baked potato. So we're gonna go ahead and put her in now. All right, we got our water steamed up. And put the broccoli in. You can use a fork to check its tenderness. Once you get to the way you like it, serve it up. All right, 5 minutes is up. Broccoli's ready. Time to go plate it up. Doesn't this look amazing? Baked walleye, broccoli, and a baked potato. Can't go wrong.
Oh, hit the bottom. I'm right there. A lot of having success when you're fishing is making the right choices of where to fish. In other words, finding fish in an area you're able to fish them. This is a feeding shelf and I've got fish stacked all over top of it. It's not a steep edge, it's just a nice shelf. And when you get that scenario, bottom bouncers is a great way to just pull back and forth. If you get an area maybe half the size of a football field, you're able to really work it. I got one on right now. How long has it been? Less than 30 seconds? Yep, there he is. It's all about spot selection when you're walleye fishing. You don't want to just randomly fly all over the lake and just dump your stuff in. You want to be able to pick a spot and use the presentation that you're comfortable fishing and just catch lots of nice little walleyes. That'll make great fish sandwiches for later. I think we have enough, we can start letting them go.
Yeah, we'll let them go and start sizing them.
But that's exactly an example where we were off the edge, I got set up. Once I hit the flat and I knew I was up on it, took less than a minute to get a bite, catch a fish, and Bill broke off on something, hopefully wasn't too big.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
There we go.
Good one, Billy?
Yeah, we got one.
Actually. We moved out to that 26 feet.
Yeah, look at that, 26 feet.
The fish vanished from 22
They did.
completely. That's a decent
Not a
one.
big one.
No, but
it's
there's fish marks out here now.
Yeah.
We relocated the fish marks, and that's critical, you know, when we're fishing, is to not just be content to say they're gone. Rather
Right.
than leave this spot, we looked around.
Exactly. Another good little eater, just like we've been catching all day. John's got another one right there.
I just dropped it back and I felt the peck. Feels like a little better, Billy.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, nice fish.
All right.
That's a better one. That's a really, really, really nice fish. You see the way that Northland Phelps floater got it right in the roof of the mouth. Just leech hooking it. Lots of fish on the screen, but let me get it unhooked.
Beautiful day though,
Never
eh?
quit fishing.
Oh, is this nice? And no bugs. Nice little breeze. It's like this every day here.
Fun. Oh, nice fish.
Hey.
Yeah. Nice fish. Well, I made that color change. I'll show you, we had a bright yellow one on thinking maybe that would work. Never had a bite on it, but with this color of the water we got, Bill, here, we went to this, that burnt crayfish color, and it made a big difference. Bill fish just passed all the way through without a bite, and I took the yellow one off, put this burnt one on, caught a fish immediately. So pay attention to that. When you get water color and bait color, the two, it can make a big difference as to what works and what doesn't. Another nice walleye from Whitefish Lake Lodge. Well, Bill, tons of fun.
Lots of fun.
Lots of fun, lots of fish. If you're looking for a great family getaway or just a bunch of guys having a great time, check us out here at Whitefish Lodge over on Whitefish Lake, just east of Wawa up here in Ontario. This is John Bergsma for the Fisherman's Digest. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks to Whitefish Lodge.
You bet.
You guys have a great day and we'll see you next time.
Closed captioning provided by the Quality Inns of Escanaba, Manistee, and St. Ignace on US 2 and the Eastern Upper Peninsula.
Dropped in. First pass. Nothing special, but there's lots of fish on the screen and they're cooperative.